depths I cried to you. Out of the depths I cried to you. Let your ears hear my voice. Let your ears hear my voice as I cry to you. If you, Yahweh, would mark our iniquities, then who could stand? But there is forgiveness in you, Yah, that you may be feared. And so I'll wait for you, my soul waits. In your word do I hope. So I'll wait for you, my soul waits. More than the watchman for the morning, more than the watchman for the morning. Oh Israel, put your hope in me. There is mercy and redemption. Oh Israel, put your hope in me. There is mercy and redemption, and I will redeem you from all your iniquities. Out of the depths I cried to you. Out of the depths I cried to you. Let your ears hear my voice. Let your ears hear my voice as I cry to you. As I cry to you. Mark our iniquities, then who could stand? But there is forgiveness in you, Yah, that you may be feared. And so I'll wait for you, my soul waits. In your word do I hope. Yes, I'll wait for you, my soul waits. More than the watchman for the morning, more than the watchman for the morning. Oh Israel, put your hope in me. There is mercy and redemption. Oh Israel, put your hope in me. There is mercy and redemption, and
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. This is Teddy Wilson here, broadcasting live from Spokane, Washington. And we are up here at the Providence Children's Hospital and still at the Airbnb where we've been since Sunday. And my wife went in Monday morning early. We went in there and we had a little baby boy. So, as you can see, we're still here. So, obviously, as some of the doctors had been worried about, there was this RH blood factor problem. And it seems like over the past month, my wife and I have been on this just roller coaster ride of bad news and negativity coming from the doctors, not so much the midwife, but I want to explain something. Many of us in our faith and in our walks in life and going down this road where everybody has some type of infirmities or whatever it may be, it's just life. It's nobody's fault. I've seen really bad things happen to great people, and I've seen really good things happen to really bad people. It's just life. It's a fact of life. It's not necessarily invoked by anyone's sin, or we do know that there's inherent sin. We also know that there are curses that can be handed down. But when we're just talking about conventional sicknesses, I want to address that for a moment before I give you guys a report as to what's happening present time. It's 6:47 p.m. here in Pacific time out here in Washington State. Many times we can get so gun-ho against the medical field, pharmakia, and all of this stuff. First of all, many of you know how I feel about the Greek terminology. I want to reiterate that it's Greek terminology, the pharmakia doctrine that many of us encounter. Actually, there is that's not a Hebrew text theology. And I've known that for many years. But when people start talking about pharmakia and this and that, I just let it go and pray that Yahweh will show them one day that a lot of these medications are. There are some that are just terrible, unclean. The vaccines are no good. But in the medical field in general, a lot of these big words that you see are from natural resources. And many times we are intimidated by the big words. But just like the technical word for saline that they use, there's no chemicals in that. It's just salt water. But they give it a huge term and a big price tag for everybody who needs it whenever they go into the hospital. So, having said that, I have come to find in my lifetime, when I was battling with my prostate, and now I've seen my wife's family, her dad, my father-in-law Mike, who I love very much. He had a brain tumor not long ago, and it was right after Brad Scott had passed away of a brain tumor. It was a big scare. But even he, who was, basically, for the most part, anti-hospital, anti-doctors and everything else, him and I both have found, and my wife is now coming to the realization, as many of us may well be, that there are some things that the medical field is absolutely needed for. Aside from personal thoughts of the matter, I'm going to tell you that for like I said, the better part of a month, it's been one negative thing after another, day by day by day, except for on Shabbat. or whenever we were talking to somebody who, offered up prayers and whatnot. Uh, but it can get very negative when you have sick loved ones, and everything seems to be stacking up against you. But I have to say that the medical field, had it not been for how far along the medical field has come in this area, in the area of my father-in-law, when he had that brain tumor, was already affecting his eyesight and everything, and as well as my prostate stuff. Um, there is a time where those people know what they're doing, and outside of all of that, I have to say that they've really instilled a lot of hope in Teddy Wilson and our family over the past several days. Um, we had Daniel Paul Wilson, actually Daniel. We had Daniel. We went in at 7 in the morning, and by 6:30, I believe it was, somewhere in there, we had the baby. And it didn't take much inducing or anything like that, like they had planned at 37 weeks. They felt it was time to get this baby that could be in danger out, take a look at it, see where we're at. And we're kind of thankful that we did not wait any longer, because it would have been, no, not could have been, it would have been worse than what we're going through now. So just a few minutes after the baby was presented to us and we got to hold it and everything, it was maybe 20 minutes tops, and they said, "Hey, we need to get some blood," and they just went right to work. They knew why the baby was here, why the baby was we gave birth here rather than back home, because back home couldn't, in our area, could not take care of such needs that this little one needed immediately after it was born. So the RH factor, blood factor, obviously became an issue, and it became an issue very fast. And the baby started producing white blood cells very quickly against its own red blood cells. And that was exactly what they had told us, and which I've explained to you guys in the past few weeks. I've explained it to you. And so it started happening very quickly. And so it was killing off red blood cells faster than it could produce new red blood cells. And this whole thing, bilirubin is what it's called, bilirubin. You guys can go look at it. And if it goes too high, too fast, it can cause irreversible, permanent brain damage. So this is an attack, or would have been an attack. It was a planned attack on our baby's mind. And many other babies that were in the same unit. It wasn't very long when the test came back and they said, "We're going to have to move you guys, and we're going to put this baby under phototherapy," which I didn't know what that was at the time, but it's blue light therapy, and the blue lights actually work on the white blood cells, keeping them at bay. But the levels kept going up and up and up, and so by the next night, they said, "We have to take this baby to an ICU." So they took the baby to ICU, and then our other children that are here with us, they couldn't go see the baby. We were just about to leave. I was here. getting my family who was here with us. Thank my niece Kayla and my cousin Rhonda was here with us, taking care of the boys. There we go. I pray that we didn't lose you. But anyway, so again, thanks to my niece Kayla and my cousin Rhonda, they were taking care of the other five children here at the Airbnb while we were birthing and everything. They had to leave Wednesday evening, and because they both had to work. Well, my wife happened to get discharged uh, the afternoon before that, so it's been on me and my wife since they left. We've got all five of the kids. We're trying to go to the hospital with all five of the kids. So wait in the waiting room. One of us go in, one of us come out, and the kids don't understand, and it's a mess. It's just it's a very difficult time. And up until just yesterday, it was another roller coaster ride of bad news. You know, the levels wouldn't go down, and so they started this IV treatment. And see, after I think 2 or 3 days of being in there, see, let's see, yeah. So uh, it's been on IV treatment for this specific thing. It's called IVIG, I think, and phototherapy. And these are the two things that they try to do before they have to do. Now, listen to this. It's not a blood transfusion. It's a blood transfer. They have to take every bit of the baby's blood out and refill it with new blood and then put it back under the phototherapy and all of that stuff to boot. So we did not want all of that to happen, and we've been thank all of you for your prayers. We have had literally hundreds and hundreds of messages, phone calls, um, emails, messages on Messenger, um, with just so much encouraging news, prayers from you guys. Um, we're just beyond words. Thank you, can't say enough, and for everybody that has helped financially get us through all of this stuff here. You have no idea how much we truly appreciate that, and the prayers are the most important thing. It has really done a lot to get us through. And so finally, yesterday morning or yesterday afternoon, I walked in. I was by myself. My wife and kids stayed here while I went to go see the baby. And right when I walked in, one of the doctors was walking by and said, "Oh, I'm glad that I got to see you. Guess what happened?" And it was the first. It's the first time that any doctor has approached us with a smile on their face and good news behind that smile since the baby was born. And of course, all along, you get caught in this web of emotions that only your own prayers and prayers from other people can get you through. It's only by the kindness of Yahweh's Ruach that you can make it through times like we're going through. We've been praying for everybody. We've been praying for all of those. There's a whole ward of these poor babies. I mean, every room, there's like 8 rooms, and every one of them have 2 babies in it. that are either fighting heart disease. I mean, they're in ICU, that type of heart problem, or and the majority of the babies that go in there, they told us right from the beginning, it's not a promise. I said, can you promise me that my baby boy is coming home with us? And none of the doctors would tell me yes. Now, so that's what we had prepared ourselves for. There is a possibility that this might be the only life you have with this child, and we were we were ready to accept that. It's and one thing that I had shared with my wife is we have to be specific with our prayers during these time periods. I'm not talking about just us, I'm talking all of us. This is a scriptural message that I have learned over the past week. I found myself being very stingy and self-centered with my prayers. Tuesday night, I noticed it. I noticed it, and it was like the Spirit of Yahweh began to rebuke me. You know, like I was getting the feeling that Yahweh was trying to tell me that I know how you feel, son, but don't let your emotions get in the way. All of my prayers were I, me, we, and us. I, me, we, and us. And I looked around at all of the other rooms. I looked around at all of the other parents and the nurses and the doctors in this place, and I thought to myself, wait a minute. We need to be praying for all of these people, not just me, not just my family, not just my baby. And when we began to pray for every child, when we began to pray for all of the nurses, when we began to pray that Yahweh would anoint them and give us the ability to minister to them somehow that would glorify Yahweh. And that's happened several times since we've been here. And that we would seek the situation in a way that put Yahweh's desire and his will first. Instead of saying, well, my prayer is I want to hold him, my wife, I want to hold my baby, I want to nurse my baby. We first started entering prayer, and this is what I told her. We cannot be selfish with our prayer in this situation. We need to seek Yahweh first and say, you know what's going on in this baby's brain. You know whether his brain is going to be healthy or whether it's not. You know whether this baby is going to be sick and healthy and be able to promote a good life. So whatever your will is, we ask for that to be done first. If it's your will that the child that this is the only life it will ever know, because there is some infirmity that you are trying to show mercy through, then whatever that will is, we want that to be done. But please hear our petition. We want to hold this baby. We want to nurture this baby. We want this baby's siblings. Let the I, me, and us, and we come after presenting the will of Yah to him in prayer. Nevertheless, let your will be done first. Him and his wishes first above all things. And then not long after that, bam, we start getting good news for the first time since this baby has been born. Since the first time we found out a month ago what we were up against. And like I told you guys, I'm going to trust in the prayers of you, all of you people, and we're going to trust that this baby is going to be okay. But I'll tell you, I was asking these doctors, and I was, hey, can you guarantee me, or can you make a promise that my child is going to leave this ICU? And when both of those doctors told me no, I knew medically what we were up against. But see, I also know what sickness is up against. Sickness of this world on every level is up against the healing anointing of Yahweh Almighty. And whatever Yahweh says is going to happen. Whatever Yahweh wishes is going to happen. And whatever Yahweh wants is going to come to pass. Whatever his desire is what will happen. We can't change that. And we shouldn't want to change that because of selfish reasons. I've learned so much over these past few days. And there's been a lot of sleepless nights, and I just feel ran through the ringer. But when we went in today, now, like I said, yesterday was like the first good news. Yesterday afternoon was the first good news that really said, this could be coming to a close since the baby was born. They took the IV out yesterday at noon, and I didn't know that. So the baby has been without that IV stuff that attacks white blood cells itself. So now what does that tell us? Now that they took off one of the blue lights off the top part of the baby. So the levels remained the same all day today after they did that, which tells us one thing. The level is still a little bit high, but the doctors feel that he's in a position now to where it's time to see if he's going to start fighting on his own, if he's going to overcome this without this stuff. If and can we go home? No, we can't. We're not there yet. But Yahweh is at work. I know it. See, this whole blood cleansing thing and everything, you guys already know where my prayers are going, in what direction those are, in the specific things I'm praying for. We have to be very, very specific in what we ask Yahweh in our prayer life when it comes to the life and death of children who are in the hands of the medical field. Because there are instances where cancers and all these other types of things, the medical field is killing people, not helping them. It helps some people, but it kills some other people. In this situation, I'm going to have to say that it has been Yahweh that has done this. Things did not look good ever since Monday afternoon when we had the baby. And it's been nothing but bad news. And, well, it's getting worse. We're going to have to do this. We're going to get worse. We're going to have to do this. It's getting worse. We're going to have to do this. It's getting worse. We're going to have to do this. And so, but we kept praying. And we kept seeking the Father. And we kept hearing from all of you. And it has gotten us through. You guys don't even understand how much you play a part in all of this. We're so thankful. My wife asked me to start taking pictures take all the pictures that we're taking from the time. This is my wife speaking. And all of you that know my wife, she doesn't want none of her kids on social media. She doesn't want to be on social media. She doesn't want anything to do with social media other than what the ministry has to do on social media. So she told me, Teddy, I want you to start keeping pictures from the beginning to the end. And I want you to put together a clip of our children, of her, of me in the hospital during this whole birthing process and everything that we're seeing all the way up to the end. Because she realizes how important you guys that watch us on social media, you have no idea. All of hundreds of messages just since Monday. Actually, Sunday. Hundreds of messages have came in from you people. And it made my wife realize that, you know what? In the end, these people that watch us, our ministry on social media, have proven and shown us that there are many people out there listening and that do care. And so she asked me to save all these pictures. And when we drive out of here, whenever that is, um, when we get home, I'm going to take all of these pictures and I'm going to put it together. And she wants me to send it out to all of you so that you can be a part of what you can see with your own eyes what you were being a part of in helping us through. Um, so where we're sitting right now is, of course, we're going to be here for Shabbat. We have Ben and Ari from back home, the Millers. They're going to be here tomorrow to keep Sabbath with us. They're going to come up and worship Yahweh with us here. So we won't be alone on Shabbat. And as you guys can see, the internet isn't the best, or anyway, with this laptop, we've been having problems, whether it's this internet, the internet back home, or the laptop, I don't know. So we're not really set up to live stream and teach. And I just don't really know if I've got I'm just exhausted, you guys. I mean, I'm good. Been in good spirits, but I also need you guys to pray for me because I've been getting irritated with my two older boys, and I've been hollering at them and not realizing that I'm yelling at them and everything. I need you guys to keep me in prayer that Yahweh will give me some good sleep, that Yahweh will give me peace of mind and some comfort, as well as my wife. My wife probably needs it more than me because, again, she's the glue of the family, and she is doing so good for just having a sick baby, being in the hospital for 2 or 3 days herself, and then getting out and not having any help. Right, we did have help from my niece and my cousin, but that was while she was in the hospital. So she gets out of the hospital, the next day everybody has to leave. And but she did say that she could not believe how much faster her body was healing after having Daniel. She is feeling really well. So thank you for those prayers. She's bouncing back so quickly and jumped right back into the mom position that it's alleviated a little bit of, probably what I've been going through. So here's where we're at, brass tacks. The baby has been off of the IV treatment since noon yesterday, and they felt safe enough. The level didn't rise up so fast. And that's another thing. It's not really how high the level is. It's how fast they go from low to high levels. That's what they worry about, is going from a low level to a high level in a very short period of time. So coming off these two treatments a little bit at a time, and the level staying basically within a couple of points of each other, they say shows that the baby is being strengthened and able to fight a little bit on its own without it. So tomorrow we will go in there early. We'll check on the baby. We'll get the report from the doctor, and if that is a good report, then we can start looking at taking him off of the phototherapy completely and see what they have to offer back in Idaho, because there's a chance that within a week, if the levels go back up, it will need more phototherapy or possibly even more of the IVIG treatment, which they have to make sure that the hospital close to us has the ability to do that. So that's where we're at right now. but everything is looking a heck of a lot better since yesterday. Well, actually, yesterday evening, I found out some good news, and then today was uh, a little bit better good news. So let's pray that it continues to be good news. If not, we could be here. If those levels jump up, we could be here a long time. So, one thing I do know, Daniel was thrown in the lion's den. He wasn't expected to survive, was he? But he came out. And he came out with great favor of the king. And that's where we are going to let it rest. We have so much to be thankful for. And I'm going to stand on something I was reading this morning. I want to share it with you guys. You hear part of the passage quoted quite a bit, but I want to read the entire chapter in the book of Psalms. It's very short. Psalms chapter 128. It's really been ministering to me today. Blessed are all those who fear Yahweh, who walk in his ways. You shall eat the labor of your hands and be blessed, and let it be well with you. Let your wife be as a fruit-bearing vine within your house, your sons like olive plants all around your table. Look, so shall the man be blessed who fears Yahweh. Yahweh shall bless you out of Sion, and let you see the good of Yerushalayim all the days of your life, and let you see your children's children. Peace be upon Yisrael. And this, what is striking is, ever since the baby has been born, I've been praying that Yahweh would bless him, because even though this tiny little seed that just came out of the womb was being attacked, I wanted to remind Yahweh that this is his seed, and let him be counted as one of the seeds of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. And so the fight isn't with us. The prayers stem from us, but the fight is Yahweh's. Only Yahweh can conquer death. Only Yahweh can produce. He's very pro-life. And so that's where we're at with it. And just pray that the next update will be, hey, we're going home, or the next time you see me, it's being done from my office. So again, I want to just thank all of you. I'm so humbled, so humbled from all of the love and the comfort that has been sent by the brethren. And we love you very much, and we thank you so very much as well. Before I sign off this evening, if there's anybody who would like to get a hold of us, there is my personal email address at the bottom of your screen. And there is our phone number there at the bottom of your screen. Again, we want to thank everybody. Please continue to pray. You have no idea how much all of you mean to us. We are so thankful. And like I said, I've got some really good notes that I've been taking up until we left last Sunday to come up here. And I'm sure it's really going to lead to some very powerful messages when we do return. So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I do pray that you and your family are blessed. I pray that Yahweh meets all your needs. I pray that he comforts you, brings healing to you, anyone in your family. And first and foremost, pray that His will is done in each and every one of our lives in the mighty name of Yahshua. So again, have a blessed Shabbat, everybody, and be looking. So I did send out links for Friday Night Live, but the problem is I forgot to forward myself the new subscribers group to my email here, which means there's 200 and something people that are not getting the links. So all I can ask is that if you guys are getting the links, there's only two groups that the links are actually making it to. One is in Messenger, and the other one is from MailChimp. So all of you that are getting it, please share it with everybody so we can get the links out there. I'm going to be sending out a Sabbath study for tomorrow, sometime tomorrow morning. And those of you that are connected to me on Messenger, you'll be getting the links, as well as everybody that is on the MailChimp email list as well. So until then, may Yahweh bless and keep each and every one of you, and have a blessed Sabbath. Shabbat Shalom.